This is the tutorial video for the side shifter overlays that we offer for the 2021 Bronco. So the first thing we want to do is we want to clean the surface really well with isopropyl alcohol. Here I'm using 99% isopropyl alcohol, so as you can see it evaporates pretty quickly. If you're using 91 or 70% isopropyl alcohol or anything less than 99, just give it some more time for it to evaporate before you start applying the film. So the kit is going to look like this. You have this thicker film. This thicker edged film belongs on the passenger side, and this thinner outlined film belongs on the driver's side. So we're going to use a corner tool to do this installation. This is what a corner tool looks like. Of course, this is zoomed in, so it looks much larger here, but we're going to use a corner tool. We just like to use that so that way it's we can see what we're doing. It's easier to line up. So I'm going to go ahead and stick the edge of the film on one of these corners and just lift it off, and we're going to pretty much start applying. I'm actually going to reposition that piece of film on a different corner. Okay, then we want to just kind of hover over it. It's a little tacky. I'm going to grab a second corner tool to help me keep it from sticking right away. It'll stick. It's a pressure sensitive film, so it'll stick wherever you apply pressure. So you just want to do like a light, just hang it over the area lightly and see what that looks like. I'm going to go ahead and unstick it from the corner tool. Now we can just kind of move it around until we like where it sits. And you can see that it's not sticking to it aggressively. It will come off if you don't like where it sits the first time. And again, we're just gonna lay it somewhere. We're gonna position it until you're happy. You want to position it until you're happy where it sits. It's gonna take some time. The most difficult part of this installation right here is aligning it. I like this corner here. Okay, so as you see, I already started applying some pressure on the areas that I wanted the film to stick really well. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and grab a source of heat. You're going to want to use a heat gun on low setting. I'm using a torch, and I'm a pretty good distance away, so this is just part of the way we do installs here. So we're going to, from a distance, we're going to go ahead and heat it up. And we're gonna, what we're doing here is we're shrinking the edges that overlap, and that's gonna help the film to adhere properly and to mold into the shape of the shifter, or that side piece of the shifter. Okay, and then I'm using my nails to kind of get in there around the edges. And then the heat also helps the film stick to the surface because it essentially molds it to the texture. And that's pretty much it there. That's for this installation. You repeat the same thing on the other side. Alright, so we're here on the driver's side of the shifter. We're going to go ahead and clean the surface with alcohol as well. And one thing to note about this product is that if you install it a certain way, it almost seems like the product is a little bit too big. So you just have to make sure you don't overstretch this film. There's two ways of designing a product. One, we can design it small and have clients stretch it on a bit, or we can design it the right size. What ends up happening is everybody has a slightly different, not method, but everybody's just going to install it differently is what it comes down to. So that's one thing just to note about it. It's actually the right size. So if you overstretch it, it's going to be too big. So anyways, we're going to go ahead. We already cleaned this surface, so we're going to go ahead and start hovering the film over it until we like where it sits. Go ahead and push down on this corner so that way it seals. Okay. Then I'm going to go to this corner. And just slowly, pretty much just working our way around these buttons here, the gear selection buttons. And there you go. Happy with that there. Now I'm gonna work my way to this corner in the center. And then the corner up on top left. Now I can work on this corner over here, and then the last top corner. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. You see this excess film, so it almost makes it seem like this is a little bit too big, but it's not. This is actually the right size. So what we want to do is we want to just kind of reposition this area here. It looks like this area here is not low enough, so we're just going to go ahead and lift this up. Just reposition it. Oops. I want to be careful not to overlap like that, the way it creased there. I'm going to do a little stretch over here. And now I'm going to work this side over just a bit. Alright, and that's where I want it to sit. So now I'm going to go ahead and grab some heat again, or like I did on the other side, I should say. We're going to go ahead and shrink the sides over. And that's it. And there you have it. Oh, looks like I missed the bottom edge. Make sure I do the bottom edge. Use the corner tool. And that's it. There you have it. There's some reflection going on in here, which looks like it's the film, but it's not the film, it's just the reflection. That's what you're seeing there, and then there too. That's like the molding inside of where this button sits. And that's what that looks like.